breaking down Lubbock Cooper sports. This is the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. This is the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score, which is also the Pirates' home radio station, where tomorrow night you will be able to hear them play El Paso del Valle at 7 p.m. our time at Conquest Stadium in the 5A Division II by-district round. That's one of two games involving area teams that are tomorrow night. The other one is Levelland against Seminole out at Tiger Stadium in Wolfers. That's a 4A Division II by-district playoffs game. Let me call up the rest of the schedule and make sure I get everybody, because Friday night gets really busy. Friday night on 97.3 FM, we just talked to the Friendship Tigers. They will be at El Paso Eastwood at Trooper Stadium, 7 p.m. That's on 97.3 FM. That's their home station. Monterey is on the road also in El Paso. They will take on El Paso Americas at Socorro Athletic Complex, old version, or I guess they call it the SAC 1. That's at 7 p.m. our time. That's on 93.7 The Eagle. Let me make sure. Liberty actually kicks things off. Liberty and Monahans at a 4A Division II by-district game at the Mustang Bull in Andrews. That's at 2 p.m. Friday on 93.1 Young Country. Estacado's also at the Mustang Bull later that night against Fort Stockton in another 4A Division II playoff game. That's down the radio dial a little bit with Nick Long on the call. And the city's two TAPS six-man teams are in the playoffs. Kingdom Prep is on the road at Waco Valor Prep, 7 p.m. Friday. And Christ the King, the only undefeated team in Lubbock right now. Well, I guess they'll stay that way or they won't. They are 9-0. They are in the TAPS by-district round. They're at home at noon Saturday against Corpus Christi Annapolis Christian. That is a busy playoff slate. It starts for city teams and for me, because I'm headed that way myself tomorrow morning with Lubbock Cooper against El Paso del Valle. I've got a couple of the Pirates here with me. Coach AJ Perez, you coach DBs?
Yes, sir, the corners.
And Jack Sipowicz, tell me what position you are, Jack. That's your microphone, yep.
I play outside linebacker.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I just texted Coach this, but all I've got to do is look at your face. You are Bella's brother.
Yes, sir.
That's not a stretch to figure that out.
Yes,
I got
sir.
to know Bella very well, covering the Lady Pirates when they were making their run.
Yep.
In fact, Bella got fouled.
Yeah.
In San Antonio state semifinal game. They should have called a foul on her.
Yeah, I know.
I'm still angry about that. I don't know if they would have won I don't know if they would have won that game, but should have given Bella a chance to shoot some free throws.
Can't do anything about it.
Nope. It's water under the bridge. Where's she at now?
She's just living like she doesn't play anymore, but she's just doing her own thing, working, just doing her own thing. So
she went somewhere and played for a while.
Yeah, she played at Texas A&M Kingsville.
Okay.
For I think 2 years, and then she just decided not to play anymore.
Coach is a baseball coach, so he'll appreciate this. Yep. I thought I was just going to play college baseball, and then I realized that curveballs weren't getting any easier to hit. It was time to go on with life.
Yes, sir.
AJ, we were just talking, spent some time in Plainview, which is near and dear to me because I'm married to a Plainview girl. How many years were you up there with the Bulldogs?
I was just there 1 year.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you got a little bit of taste of, you got to meet Coach Bill.
Yes, Coach Bill's he's a character, but he's one of the hardest working guys I've ever met.
And he's 89, I think?
I believe so. 88, 89.
You will appreciate this story. We went up there. My late father-in-law was inducted into the Plainview High Athletics Hall of Honor a few weeks ago with a really impressive class. We walked out. We weren't sure where to go. My mother-in-law walks up to Coach Bill and says, Coach, is there any security here or somebody who can help us where we need to go? And Coach Bill said, nah, just go wherever you want. Hey, when Coach Bill, when he says that, I'm trying. You guys have a guy at Lubbock Cooper. I can't think of his name. He's the Hispanic guy that dresses like a cowboy. You know who I'm talking about, Jack?
I think I do. I don't know.
I've never been to a Lubbock Cooper game and not seen him. I cannot.
Yes, that's our one of our grounds guys.
Yes.
His name's
Lino.
Yes.
And Lino runs the. I mean, you need to know where things need to be. Lino is your guy.
Absolutely.
And he's that's high school sports are awesome for a lot of reasons, but when you got those personalities, that's what makes it go. So, What also makes high school sports cool is a team can get beat really bad one week and then come back fighting and come out of the corner and play 3 really good games, win 2 of them, and get to the playoffs, which is what your guys, Jack, what you guys did. I've talked to Ryan Rodriguez and Kale yesterday about kind of the mood that's put you guys in. What has that been like? It wasn't very fun against Abilene Cooper. Nobody's going to ever – that just happens in sports once in a while. But these last 3 weeks of the regular season, and you got the open week last week, but what did those 3 weeks teach you about being a high school athlete that is going to stick with you?
I think just what you put in, especially after that loss, I think that was horrible for everyone. But I think whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out. And I think the last couple of weeks, the practices we've had have just been great. And I think it showed in the games. I think we've played great just from these practices.
And which is much different. Now, AJ, you weren't here last year. This is reversal of last year, because last year you guys lost your last 2 games, were leaking oil by the time you got to the playoffs, had the open week, and then came out and a little lethargic early on, but then found it and dang near beat Prosper Walnut Grove the next week. You try to there's nothing you guys can do. You just got to be yourselves. Does it feel different going into the playoffs this year?
I think it does. I think, and coaches have said it a lot, I think we're just on an upward spiral right now. I think we play better every week. And I just think however far we want to go is how far we're going to go. I just think we just keep going up. And I just think what we do and how we practice is going to show how we play. And I think it's going to be good.
It's no fun to lose like you did to Abilene Cooper, but I would guess that toughened your skin a little bit and kind of made you appreciate it. AJ, did you play football at Lubbock Cooper when you were there?
Yes, sir. I did.
Who was your coach?
Max Catwinkle was my
so you're still very young. Max is a good friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. He's not been gone from coaching for a while. Which team were you on?
The 15-16 team, I guess, in the 14-15. 5A?
Did you guys
make
the transition?
That I guess my junior year was that transition of that.
We'll come back and talk a little bit. I've done my research. I know you guys got it going back then. So coming up on a break, we'll be back right after this on 100.7 The Score in the Pirate Fan Zone.
Bringing you the latest news from Lubbock Cooper Athletics. This is the Pirate Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is the night. It's football playoff eve. It's been 11 long weeks, not just 10, because these teams all take an open week, which Lubbock Cooper and Estacado both had an open week coming into the playoffs, which, Jack, I don't know if last year that was that enjoyable, but was this, having an open week after that 10-week grind, how much has that helped you guys, do you think?
I think it was an amazing thing for us. I think it helped everyone rest. I think everyone was a little banged up, but I think it just helped us recoup, and especially during the practices, everyone was just energetic, and I think it was a great thing to have.
What about from a coaching perspective? What was it like, especially compared to last year, where you go into that open week and there's a lot of uncertainty at that point? Jack talked about it. This is a little bit different. There's a little bit of good feeling right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Even coming off that good feeling, I think 10 weeks is a lot. 10 weeks of football. And
it's not just 10 weeks. It's two scrimmages, 2 or 3 weeks, because you guys didn't have spring football, so it's 14 or 15
weeks.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I think it was a good break for all of us. And like Jack said, the practices, they weren't lackadaisical or anything, but I think it was a much needed kind of slow down and walk through some things, and get our kids healthy for a good playoff run.
I don't know if you guys were listening. This has been a different season for you and Friendship in particular, when I think of the two teams that have kind of set the standard the last several years in public school football. Lubbock Christian's been pretty incredible in TAPS. You guys have had to learn to win a little bit differently, and the defense has still had its moments, but years past it was like, let's get the defense out there and let them do it, and we'll figure out a way to score 21 points. And in Friendships, we're going to score 63 points, and you guys have kind of passed a little bit. How different has that been for you, Jack? The defense has not been bad, but it's been a little bit different because you've had to fill some holes, and the offense has been really, really good. Now, part of that's because Ryan's been around for like 15 years at quarterback, but defensively, you still got to go out there with that mindset. If you're not going to get anything on us, but you're playing teams that are pretty good. They've got some dudes on the other side of the ball. What's this defense got to be good at this week against a pretty decent quarterback on the other side?
I think we're the more physical defense, and I think honestly it's just going to come down to who's more physical. And I think against this quarterback, I mean, we all know he's pretty good, but I just think we're just going to out-physical him, and I just think he's going to get shut down pretty quick.
Did you play in the playoff game last year?
No, sir, I did not.
That was one of the – I've got some friends down in El Paso, and that was kind of the theme that they were kind of surprised at how physical – and I think that's something Friendship and Monterey are going to take down there with them as well. You're the secondary coach, AJ. Have you gotten any sleep this week getting your guys ready for what? Tell me the kid's name. The coach.
You're going to make me look bad here.
I'll look it up. Chip rattled it off.
Yes.
And that's different for Chip because Chip's like most head coaches. Usually it's whatever number. He knew this guy's name, so that told me.
I should because he's the real deal. That's for sure. And there's a reason. There's a reason he's a D1 quarterback.
You're 27, 28?
28, yes, sir.
So your generation was savvy enough that you knew who you were playing, all that. This group now, though, I don't know if Jack knows his name, but they know. I'm gonna guess they know he's the 9th-rated quarterback in the country, 3rd-rated in Texas, which may be more impressive than 9th-rated in the country. We kind of talked about it. He's going to fling it. He's going to do something. Apparently, he runs a little bit too, right? You guys have played great quarterbacks for years and years. You play Friendship every year. That's going to happen. From a defensive coach's standpoint, what do you guys have to do to make him uncomfortable?
I think our guys up front. Can get
a place to start.
Can get a good push up there, and I think that those 4 are going to do their job pretty well against their line and make him uncomfortable and not being able to, kind of do what he does. And then on the back end of it, we've been kind of like Jack said, we've been kind of on an upward spiral on that end. And so if we can continue to do that and cover like we have the past few games, and I think we'll be pretty good.
Jack Fetty is his name. I feel like I should say something that rhymes at that point when I say it that way. He's a 4-star quarterback, which recruiting services don't toss out stars real easily on quarterbacks. You got to do something pretty good, and he's been good for 4 years. He's I'm going to bet that you guys would like number 51 to get up close and personal with that. That could change the game for both teams pretty quick. So 51, Sione Valle. Did I say it right?
Vea.
I've tried. I'm sorry, Sione. I've tried for years. I'll get it right at some point. We'll come back and talk more about what the Pirate offense has to do when we come back after this break in the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Breaking down Lubbock Cooper sports. This is the Pirate Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the Pirate Fan Zone. I called up Mr. Fetty's numbers here. His numbers aren't dazzling, but that I'll say this because there's a couple of quarterbacks in town that you could say their numbers aren't great, but sometimes there's a reason. I'm going to guess that they've been in some games that they won fairly easily, and a smart coach will get the quarterback out of there as quickly as possible. But they are impressive. Don't get me wrong. He's thrown for 2,563. He's thrown for 25 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, which I guess you have some DBs that would like to change that pretty quick. They've actually got a guy, actually, that's him, never mind. He's also rushed for 882 yards. That's pretty impressive for, are they a spread offense or are they let Jake do what he does good on that given play offense?
They can kind of do it all. They'll spread it out and then they'll kind of bunch it up, and like I said, they'll sling it around, and then if he needs to kind of take over a game, then they'll let him do that and kind of do it with his legs.
I think Chip said there was a game or two where he ran the ball 20 times.
Yes, and when their quarterback is running the ball about as many times as our running back, you kind of like to think that he's pretty good at that. So,
Jack, you guys have seen a lot of different kind of offense, a lot of good offenses, starting with Friendship. I'm starting with who was your season opener against?
Lovejoy.
That was a big strapping guy that was the quarterback. You've seen that. I think he's going to go play tight end at the college level. Lovejoy's quarterback, or is that? I think of the guy that played Friendship. One of you two, you both played these big, massive Metroplex quarterbacks, but you played Friendship, you played Tascosa, which is a whole different animal offensively, and then in your district, I'm not sure people give your district enough credit for how good the offenses were. Well, Seth Mayberry's a little guy, but man, that dude could do a lot of different things. And then just every week you're facing. How ready does this defense feel ready for a guy like this that can do some different things?
Yeah, I think, well, like you were saying, we've played a whole bunch of different quarterbacks and a whole bunch of different offenses as well. But I think just the amount of experience we have with different people, I think we'll be ready for them. I think we've kind of seen a whole bunch of different stuff to where nothing's going to be thrown at us that we haven't seen. And I think we've prepped so much for them that I think we'll have it under control, that whole offense.
And that has a little bit to do with why your defense is giving up more yards and more points. I don't remember, AJ, the defense, the offenses being this good in your district last year. That's kids get older, you get used to seeing teams. And how tested have your guys been on defense this year? Because it seems like you've faced, like Jack and I said, some really diverse and different kind of offenses.
Yeah, absolutely. Like y'all said, we kind of see a different playing styles, different offenses, and all of that. And so, the district is weird and it was funky and everything. But like you said, I think that's kind of just how the offense is kind of, played out. I mean, I don't think there was ever one game where it was like, we're good. We can kind of take a little game off or something. It was always, hey. Because
even Wichita Falls Legacy could do some things.
Absolutely.
They're still kind of growing into what they need to be. So I know you guys are both defensive guys, but you've watched your offense a lot, and this is a really good offense. And what's impressive to me, I told Chip this earlier, you lost a D1 receiver, and you guys maybe got a little bit better. Now, having Ryan back as a third-year starting quarterback helps. Having Cade, who I think he surprises people with what he can do. Having Noah emerge as a sophomore, having Deuce, you guys have had really good running backs the last several years. I don't know if you've had one that's run harder or with more purpose than Deuce has the last month. How good has this offense been for you guys to see it practice and then understanding that they can do some things to help you guys out on defense?
Yeah, absolutely. They do a fantastic job on the offense, and it's always fun to get our defensive guys and their offensive guys and kind of go, head to head with each other, and it's just good competition. We're getting our best against their best, and at the same time we're getting better. But we kind of joke around and say like the best defense is the one that's on the sideline.
Yep, it doesn't matter.
And so, if our offense can stay on the field, that means they are controlling the game and they're controlling the clock, and we can sit back and just enjoy the show.
Real quick, Jack, one word answer. Or two words. Who's had the best collision in practice between Deuce and whoever?
I'd say Deuce and Papa or Sione.
There we go. That's what I figured. That's going to wrap us up. Pirates on the road tomorrow at El Paso del Valle, 7 p.m. our time, right here on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. We'll be back next week in the High School Fan Zone.